Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to EU5. You see, I've had a streak of playing nations that were never meant to rise to the top, that were meant to go to the dustbin of history, right? From Silesia to Sicily to little old Luxembourg, nobody expected them to come out on top. But there are a handful of nations that Paradox said themselves were tier 1, were a cut above the rest, were historically meant to do something great. The Ottomans, Castile, France, England, Muscovy, to name a handful. At least those are the ones who supposedly have the content I'll be flashing up on a screen right now. However, I've never really played any of these. Normally, one would think when you're learning a game like EU5, you would sit down, play as the big blue blob, and paint the map. And I said nay. Instead, give me a little fringe Armenian Miaphysite tag, and let me go and fight all of Egypt. As such, I think it's time that I sit down and just check Paradox's homework. Plays the Ottomans, plays the big boys, kind of in a prep for what is going to be my most ambitious campaign ever done in a Paradox game. But take that away, Editor Brown Dog. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, Editor Brown Dog 2 just quickly popping in. That big, painful campaign I'm talking about is a promise I made a long time ago, and I intend on still maintaining it. It is playing as an Albanian one-location miner, flipping to a Christian heresy, something fringe, like Christiani or Bogolmus, something really out there, and conquering the peak borders of the Roman Empire. I know, truly is painful. If I only have myself to blame. While you're here, if you could like the video, subscribe, leave a comment. It means the world truly. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs by November. Either way, thank you very much for your time. I'll let you get back to your video. Editor Brown Dog 2 out. Man, I am like just so cool. Without further ado, let's get into the Ottomans. So being one of those fancy tier 1 nations, what do we actually have going for us? Well, obviously the Rise of the Turks is about to kick off. We also have a slurry of events happening. Yep, that's a lot of events. Maybe I should have waited for decisions to come out. We also start with a spare cabinet member. Thanks to our Anatolian Beylik reform, we get +1, so it's a free gov reform. We'll also slot in autocracy. Feudal theocracy kind of makes sense because we are going to need to convert a lot of people over to being a Sunni. Let's go with agricultural cultivation though, just to start with some land push. Our nobles are decently powerful as it is. There's nothing I want to give them. Our ulema, we will give them expansionist zealotry, and that is all I will give the ulema. My burghers are going to get trade center sponsorship, road building rights, trade monopolies, urban dev grants, and treasury rights. My commoners get nothing. The dhimmi, what will I give the dhimmi? The dhimmi will get dhimmi bureaucrats, which will allow me to have them in cabinet, sure. And the tribes will get nothing. My nobles need something or else they will be upset. We will give them auxilium et consortem and noble patronage of the arts. That should be enough to keep them quiet. We will rival the Byzantines and the Achaemenids. What unique text do we actually have going for us as the Ottomans? We have flat plus 33% speed of integration. What is an Akbe? It's a subject type. Cool. We get bonus manpower and bonus discipline, so our troops are just better. As I was saying before I got carried away with my ramblings, the Ottomans in 1337 are not the powerhouse that we know them to be from the EU4 1444 start date. No, we are 600,000 Turks and Greeks, mainly Greeks actually, interestingly enough, just after the collapse of the Sultanate of Rum to the Mongol horde. And the world is our oyster. We stand at the precipice of greatness. So what do I actually want to do today? By the end of this video, I want to be the dominant power of Anatolia and the Balkans. I need the Byzantines not to exist. And ideally, I would like to convert most of the population to Sunni. And if possible, do a little bit of Turkification in the Balkans, because if we look back to my old Armenian video, I was hard on the Turks. They didn't deserve that. So instead, we're going to bring the Turks to everyone else. Alrighty. So, now that all of the setup is done... Oh, I have so many kids that I have to give an education to. My god. I have no idea how the Rise of the Turks actually works. I've only fought against them. I've never played as it. So we're going to figure that out together. We accept the Greeks fully, right? Make sure that we accept the Greeks. Yeah, that's really hard on the culture. Wow, that's really hard on the culture. But we need Greeks, because we need this land to be cored. And there is the rise of the Ottomans. We just gained a bunch of cores. Fate of the Phoenix is also just kicked off. Yeah, so we'll get a chance to capitalize on the Byzantines being weak. We get the Legacy of Osman, which gives us even more integration speed and monthly control, and less antagonism. And we lose relationship with all of our allies. Sure, that's good. I like that. I like that a lot. So, who's the strongest Beylik? I'm the strongest Beylik. All right. I can press claims against a province in Anatolia. Where do I want to start? I guess I should start against the Kassrids. And I can just go in now, actually. Yeah, I should just do this now. So we'll immediately deck on... Oh, I forgot that you were a vassal of him, aren't you? Okay, well, actually, this is a great opportunity. I just have to burn down the Geminids, and I'll be able to get all of their vassals. This is fine. Yeah, probably. Should have read a little bit, but, you know, what's wrong with a little bit of rip and tear? Alright, so it does seem at some point in that war, the Germanids' vassals got away from them. Doesn't really matter, I'll just eat the Karasids whole all the same, and do the same to the Germanids, and we'll be fine. Alright, beautiful. Fantastic early war, so we will full annex the Karasids, which will give me some antagonism, but what will really give me antagonism is doing this to the Germanids. We will full annex them as well, take all their money, send them on their way. What does that look like? Little bit. I'm sure it's fine. Let me go and improve relations with some people. You know it's going to be a good game when Jino is already in a coalition against you. Really goes to show, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Though our population has more than doubled, so I'm not surprised about that. We're fine. We're fine. It looks worse than it is. So long as somebody like Hungary doesn't join, I don't care. That's fun. We can also seek relations with Byzantium for 10 legitimacy, at which point we can demand that they see us as the sovereign of Anatolia. What does this do? Gives us more integration speed and monthly legitimacy. I like that. We can take their money. Request, should they accept one of their most capable ministers will join our court. We can extort them for an administrator, or no, we'll just take the integration speed. So, come on, Byzantium. Chop chop. Hey! Thank you very much. Oh, and the Byzantines are fighting the Bulgars. Wait a second. Alrighty, with our parliament, now there are a couple of laws I think I want to change. Well, let's start first with distribution of power and switch distribution of power over to favor the ruler. It's going to antagonize all our estates, but hey, the Sultan must be empowered. Or am I still a Beylik? Just a Beylik, not a Sultan yet. I'm very stupid. When I changed over my law, I didn't do it through the parliament action. So I just paid the full cost of that. Ha 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 ha. Okay, don't do that. Pro tip. Make sure you click the right buttons. And I can't appeal to the commoners for another couple years. That's rough. I might have a couple revolts over that one. Oh, sweet. Wasn't expecting that, but yeah, sure, Saranids. Welcome to being our vassal. Hey. Yeah, that's free land as far as I care. Land I didn't have to pay to take. I really don't know what the requirements are for that, though. I think it's just me being a bigger tag next to them, but I wish that that was clear. As we steam into the age of the Renaissance, of course, I'm going to go with admin for the proc speed and the religious war CB. I can probably get a claim on here against the Mentesnids. And are they tired of war? Yeah, they just spent everything fighting. So I could go roll over the Mentesnids, get a bunch of land, and then go beat up the Byzantines. Call it free real estate. Cool. Let's go in against the Mentesnids. Call up the troops. Now let's go, lads. Burn them down. And just like that, the Mentesnids are willing to come to the table. We're going to take all their land, and their subject of Tavas will become our subject. Just like that. And I'm going to give away some of this land. I'll cede the province of Mugla to them. I'm going to keep Smyrna, and eventually I want to build a road all the way there. And we're immediately going to disband our levy. And once the game realizes that, we will deck on the Byzantines. This is going to be a bigger war in some ways and not in other ways. Like, the Genoese shouldn't be able to get down here. Trebizond shouldn't be an issue, and Byzantium doesn't have any troops, but it could technically spiral. Let's actually start by burning down Philadelphia. And I don't mean the Greek city. I didn't actually think the Genoans were going to show up, but there's 5,000 troops there. That's a problem. Okay, well, can I retreat? Yeah, I can retreat back across. I'm going to go stand over by my men, and we're going to just burn Constantinople to the ground then. Actually, I wonder if I could leave a siege on the city and just go and kill the Genoese forces and get away with it. If I just rock up here, run them over. Nope, they're getting away. And I can't stop them, can I? Okay, run back to the capital. Shit, 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 shit. Okay, we made it on time, but we're really demoralized. Luckily, there's enough guys. That was almost bad. Yeah, that's a big battle. That was almost a problem. You're not allowed to run that way. Come on, really? Really, Genoa, we're doing that? Okay. What? I have a fort here. How does... Oh, I hate how the fort zone of control works in this game sometimes. Are you gonna run all the way to your little tile too that I can't actually get to? You suck. It's just a matter of time until the city... Oh! Only 860 days. Really, nothing at all. But the city of cities has fallen, and now the Greek world is mine. Alright, yeah, I think I'm willing to make peace with something like this. It's not everything, but I'm already getting too much antagonism from something like this. Yeah, the world will already hate me for something like this, and I don't need, like, the entire Orthodox world coming for me. So we are going to get the City of Cities, the Dardanelles are dying, all of the Genoese Aegean land, not the Black Sea stuff, but we'll come back for that. And we are... that's not worth nearly as much as I thought it was. Yeah, dissolve the Patriarchate, whatever. Do we have an event that makes our capital in Constantinople? I don't know. Let's see. That's going to take a long time to integrate if we don't, because that is a proper city. It's a megalopolis, I mean. Hey, there it is. At last, we've conquered Constantinople. Where many Muslim commanders of ages past failed before the might of the Theodosian walls, the great Roman megalopolis would be a fitting capital of our Beylik, but we might want to take steps to restore its ancient glory and to get Turkish loyalists to occupy its most important posts. Or we could just plunder whatever we can. So we can make it our capital, which will give us migration, attraction, and it will make everything a core. Very important. We can integrate it and just steal 60 or 500 ducats from it, or not do anything with it. Of course, we're going to send our capital to the Queen of Cities. Welcome, Constantinopolis. Yeah, I think I'll go against the Hamanids because they're allied with the Alai and the Kandarids. And then I'll worry about maybe getting under the Karamanids' skin. So we can just deck on... the Kandarids won't join? Why? Because they're at war. How close are you to winning that war? You've won that war, so we'll just wait for the Kandarids to peace out, and then we'll go in and eat them up ourselves. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been waiting for the Kandarids to end this war, because they're only at war with Bafra, and it's a 2-location miner, and they have them full siege down, so I'm just trying to figure out what the AI is waiting for there. Like, there's no way that being at war is good for you right now, so what is the holdup? I don't know. But clearly the AI knows something I don't. Good. Okay, the Kandarids finally decided to peace out, so we're going to immediately deck on the Hamanids, which will pull in all of their allies. Call up the levy, and to war we go by Jingo. Beautiful, so we'll give Alai's land over to my vassal of Tavas, as well as the Kandarids. I'm going to annex them, and then I'll probably end up giving their land away too, but I don't know. Beautiful. And we will feed the Hamanids to Tavas as well. That's as big as Tavas can get, though. My antagonism by the end looks something like this. In that case, I may as well just create a historical subject of the Candrids, because don't need to integrate that right away, and I'll make it a fiefdom. And then I'll give the Candrids a couple of things even, like the rest of Sinop and Saffron Bolu. There you go. You love me now. Yep. Yep. And all my vassals are nice and loyal. I can't push control that deep anyway, so why fight for it? If I was to take Konya, though, I could set up a nice local governor there. Oh, but first I gotta fight the coalition, apparently. Okay, Venice joined, Bulgaria, Serbia. This isn't that scary. Like, at all. It's going to be annoying, but it's not scary. Alrighty, here we go. Big battle. This is what I need, where I kind of outnumber them, have them where I want them. We're gonna just roll over the Serbs. Need those losses to be kind of 2-1, as aggressive as possible. Beautiful. And I don't need to necessarily win this war. I would take money out of it if I was given it, but I'm not desperate to fight this to the bitter end. Whatever, I'll take war reps from Bulgaria and 90 ducats. Get me out of this war. It's useless. Get rid of the coalition. The Black Death is coming in proper form now. We're about to lose a lot of our pops. We're at 2 million, so just remember that. However, since we are already kind of on the go, if I set down my levies, I can claim Konya against the Karamanids. Then I can immediately deck for claims on their province. Gorgeous. Re-raise all my levies. In fact, go to my farmers and ask for extra levies. Give it a tick or 2. There we go. Now we're up to 14,000 levies. Now call them up. Let's go burn down the Karamanids. I'm going to take over Konya and put a local governor there. Oh, whoa! That's cool. Did Athens just form Thessaloniki? That's really neat. Do you get that chord at all? No. No, not at all. So it's just a rename. But there's actually like a Greek tag besides just a... Are you Greek or are you still Catalan? You're still Catalan. Well, you know, at least you're there. Yeah, Candorids, you really think that that was the best choice you could have made, going right into him? No? Okay, well, I'm glad you thought better, but... Let's take a nice deep breath and think about the smart way to do this. You should attach to me. That's why I have the attachment allowed turned on. And when you attach to me, we'll kill him. We can, like, work together or something. I don't know, man. Just a thought. You could. Be a lot cooler if you did. Yeah, like that. Come into the battle. Yeah, and now watch. We're gonna actually just beat him up really fast. What do I care about this? Sure. See? Just like that. Yep. Just beat him up. Beat him up real good. Was that so hard? God, the AI in this game. They put the A in artificial. Because you know sure as shit they don't have the I for intelligence. I seriously wonder, and this is an open question, and don't skim me for wondering this. If you hooked up like ChatGPT to a nation, how fast it would detonate it. Like, not to a real country, no, I mean like a country in EU5. Like, just how long until it completely manages to go off the rails and destroy it? And I think the answer is less than a year. Well, I don't know if you could blow up a nation that fast. Maybe if it changed what its main culture was supposed to be. I wonder, how would you do that? Like every couple months, you just send them a text debrief about what the nation is doing? Weird. Anyway, we have beaten the Karamanids. We are going to take everything from them and all of their money. Beautiful. Just like that. Another important thing, I need to get a road from Konya to technically in contention with the capital. So if I connect you... Oh, you are connected. You are connected to the capital, technically, which is the best kind of technically. So if I build a local governor, give it a month tick. I'm sorry, can I not build a local governor down here? Konya has a Seljuk mint. What does the Seljuk mint do? Oh, it's a proximity source. Okay. That's nice. Not exactly what I was after, but fine. Oh, you can stack multiple. Oh. How expensive is this? So I can have, like, a bunch of those. Okay, I'm going to take out a bit of debt, because debt is good. We're going to max out the Seljuk mint, which is incredibly strong. And then we're going to build a local governor up in Ankara, just for the time being. Well, if that's doing as... If the Seljuk mint is doing as much as a local governor would, why don't I build a road out of Smyrna? So, like, I start annexing the Sarnids, which will take 10 years. And I build a road. So we take on a little bit more debt. Because debt is good. And I build a road from Smyrna all the way to... How much does this cost? 560. Ouch. But I can have a road go to here. And a road go to here. And once that road is finished, I can have a local governor in Smyrna after this guy's integrated. Well, yeah, the Black Death ended and we only lost 500,000. That's good numbers if you ask me. Also, the Aretinids just got their independence, so we're immediately going to punish that. We're going to press a claim on the Aretinids for Karsai. Time to burn the Aretinids to the ground. Okay, wait a second. What's happening here? In the Ottoman hinterlands, many chiefs rule with their own little domains with little interference from central rule. However, even though they lack the ability to project much power, some do have greater ambitions. Some local chiefs in Smyrna have given name to greater pretensions by starting to style themselves sultans and trying to claim legitimacy by converting their population to Islam. So, as a revolt against me, they're converting to Islam, the state religion. That's funny, because the Czech is probably seeing that Smyrna is majority Orthodox, so therefore I'm probably Orthodox, and then flipping to... That's great. Yeah, welcome to the faith, brothers. Like, thank you. I'm not going to convert you for a while anyway. You pay me more taxes as a dhimmi. Okay, they finally gave in. Beautiful. Full annex that. It's only 200 antagonism. As long as the Mamluks don't join, I don't care. Yoink. How bad is my antagonism? It's fine. See, I could kind of just bowl over Bulgaria, couldn't I? Yeah. And there's nothing they could do about it. So let's say that we have a claim on Burgas. Then I guess we immediately go in on Bulgaria. Like, just without a break. So long as Hungary doesn't join the coalition, I really don't care. Yeah, so the Ottomans really, like, sure, they start a little bit weaker than they do in EU4. You know, you're not at the peak of your or you're not, like, right about to go into Europe. You're right about to take over Anatolia. But you can rip and tear so hard. Oh, that's a little bit broken. But he moves to the Ottomans. Mr. Kandali name al-Din Hali. I'll just call you Mr. Name Hali. Or we could say, screw it. No, come on over. You have a bugged out name. Now, the other problem is I have been conquering basically nonstop, so most of my country isn't integrated. But it's fine. Part of that issue is because I accept the Greek, so my cabinet is very inefficient at actually integrating. But I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now if I didn't accept the Greeks. Because they would be rising up under my feet as we speak. Either way, we've already beaten all of their armies. There's nothing they can do to us. I should also probably just explode Bulgaria into a bunch of vassals instead of doing any of that. Oh, and the coalition just decked on me, I think. Yes, yeah, okay. Well, that's not that big of a deal. It's just Moldavia, Serbia, and Trebizond. Unfortunate, maybe, but not really that big of a problem. So, you know what? Yeah, we're going to full annex Bulgaria, because it's funny. We're just going to snap Bulgaria out of existence. That's only 400 antagonism. Of course, we're going to dissolve the Patriarchate, because we don't need that. Beautiful. All right, Moldavia is finally willing to talk peace. I'm just going to take a token gold payout and let them walk. I need to very quickly find a way to make my economy not falling through the floor. All right, and immediately we go in on the Byzantines for claims on their provinces. Because, of course, it's the Byzantines. You didn't think we were going to stop conquest after all, did you? No. Just because the economy's in free fall, that means we go to war more. In slightly better news, the Greeks are willing to throw in the towel, and we will destroy the remnants of Rome once and for all. Gorgeous. All of this land, however, I will not be keeping. I will give some of it away to a vassal, and a little bit of it away to Bulgaria. Well, that was fun. That was a period of expansion. We started with how many pops? Started with 600,000, got up to 3.58 mil. That's pretty good. Still more to do, but we're just getting started. Yeah, so the Ottomans, they're a little strong. You know, we did all that in less than 30 years. Are we the only remaining Turkish Beylik? Yes. Oh, finally, our subject of the Sirnids, our first subject, has been integrated, which means I can also set down a local governor now in Smyrna. Why can't I? Yes, I can. Okay, the game's just being silly. So I can finally set down local governor in Smyrna and get control out of the land here. Is it the perfect local governor location? No. But it'll work for now. So this random Albanian land that I took off of the Byzantines, I cannot get to. Like, there's no way for me to walk there, and the Serbians are never going to give me mill access because they hate me. So I don't know what I can do about that. To be fair, it's a random Albanian rural location. Not that I care that much, but it'd still be nice to be able to get there. Okay, took me a minute. I remembered I can call an emergency parliament, which I will do. I will use this to fabricate a CB on Thessalonica for their capital. Now, if I deck on Thessalonica, they are a subject of Sicily, so that calls in Aragon and the Pope, neither of which I really care about. Can I threaten you for that land instead? Yeah, once I get a diplomat, I can threaten for the land instead. Beautiful. So now we come over and do threaten war for your gold province of Peligros. They say no. We explain to them why that's a bad idea. And once we get through Thessalonica, we will, or the actual fort of their capital, we will liberate them from their Sicilian oppressors. Okay, I have an absolutely awful idea. See, I could fight Sicily like time and time again trying to take all Thessalonica. But if I annex Sicily outright, I just get all of Greece. So I'm going to try, keyword try, because I don't have a proper navy, these are all fishing boats, to get enough men over to Sicily to make a beachhead so I can siege down Palermo and claim it for myself. So lads, 8,000 of you on the boat, and we sail for Saragossa. And I actually need to run this really slow so I can try and keep up. Beauty, 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 beauty. Nobody's here. Should have had the boats load up with food before going, but you know what? Just hit the jets. Okay, there's the entire papal fleet, and they chose to ignore me. Better than the alternative. And now that the lads have landed, we're just going to send the boats right back to pick up some more. Now, I am gambling basically my entire army on a pipe dream. but there's a chance this works. And to be fair, yeah, no, there's no justification for this one. This is entirely a very ill-fated gamble. Like, if one thing goes wrong at any point, this entire plan crumbles. Oh, wow, we just ran into the entire Aragonese army in Messina. Can we retreat? Okay, retreat back to Saragossa. There are more soldiers here than I was expecting. The number I was expecting was 0, by the way. I was hoping it was just an empty island. Nothing of substance. We only have 19,000 men, they have 24,000. And they're sitting up in the hills. So, not sure what I really can do about that. We're gonna go even bigger in on the gamble. Pope, I will give you war reps. And some money. And you'll leave. Aragon. What does it take? What's your number? War reps and money, huh? Does this immediately put me in default? Don't think so. Aragon, get out of here. Might be 1,000 ducats in debt. Might be paying... Yeah, we're losing some money. It's fine. It looks worse than it is. What we bought was time. We can only take out how many lords? About 1,000. Okay. Tax everybody. We're gonna figure this one out. We're gonna figure this one out. But Sardinia capitulates. Huge. Alright, so I can full annex Sardinia. I full annex Sardinia. I get all of Thessalonica. I'm probably gonna make a vassal in Sicily. All it costs was 1,000 ducats. That's what I call a great trade deal. Immediately put down a historical subject in Sicily as a fiefdom. The Bailic of Sicily, of course. We get all of Greece, which is actually not disloyal. What? Okay, a little bit disloyal. Very easy to solve. Just improve relations with them. Improve relations with Sicily. How does Christendom feel about this? Okay, so all of Italy might join a coalition against me, but besides that, we're doing pretty good. If we can just survive paying out our war reps without bankruptcy, we'll be fine. Spend money to make money. Spend money to make money. That's what you gotta say to yourself. Alright, I really don't know how I've juggled my numbers to work out this way, but I am breaking even. If we can just figure out how to deal with the interest. That's really the only thing. I can take, like, 10 years to fix the interest, because otherwise we've kind of pushed the economy to the limit. If we look here, I have 4,000 ducats in debt. I am only allowed another 900. In fact, something I could do right now for the better of the state. Nope, can't even issue government bonds. Why? I need banking. Alright, so let's do something really interesting, which everybody loves. Financial restructuring! Yay! But we get to interact with issuing government bonds, which is a really good deal for us at the moment, because we can issue a government bond for 650 ducats at 5% monthly interest, as opposed to borrowing more loans, which be taking a loan at 162 ducats for 6.3% interest. I'm saving a whole percentage point, which, well, it's not like an absurd amount. Not only am I able to take these government bonds out, but I'm able to use them to repay my bad loans. So they save me so much money. And on top of that, right, I just paid off like 1,000 some ducats of debt. On top of that, by having more loans paid off, I get more crown power, so I get more income through my trade. All of this works together to help me make more money. So I can pay off my loans faster, and then I can get back to servicing my government debt. But they're essentially quite large loans that always sit there, that there's no timer on it. So they do just kind of accumulate interest, which could be a really bad thing, right? The interest on them is quite high, but it's manageable. And I'm not, like, selling out power to anyone. I'm just letting people kind of buy a chunk of the... the government, I guess. Oh, it does actually give me prestige decay. Okay, well, that's good to know. Alrighty, well, it's that time of day where I do more war despite it probably not being in my economic best interest, but we have some breathing room now. A whole... Oh, still only 1,000 ducats, huh? I thought I had a bit more breathing room than that. But what I can do is deck on Serbia. Serbia is allied to a whack of people, as well as in a coalition with Trebizond, and take all of their money. I will probably full annex Trebizond, and I don't know what I'll do with Serbia. I haven't decided yet, because my antagonism with the Catholic world is moderate, so I don't really want to go and piss them all off too bad, but I do need some money. In other words, Rise of Turks, press a claim. We want Central Macedonia. Walk up to the Serbians, tell them about our claims on the province, and away we go. Alright, the Wallachians are willing to make peace. I'm going to take this large strip of Moldavia and a little bit extra, war reps, and all their money, which will immediately go into paying off some loans. That will get released once the war's over. So many kids to give an education to. Why do you all have to be stupid? Why can't you just come out smart? Alrighty, and Halik is willing to peace out. We're going to take 110 ducats, war reps, and the south half of the country. Trebizond has fallen. Beautiful. So from the Trebizondine Empire, we will take everything and all their money. Thank you very much. Alrighty, well, the Serbs want me gone, and I can't stay in this war much longer, so we're just gonna take a little bit of Macedonia and the southern half of Serbia. We've already taken plenty of land during the course of this war, so that and some money and some more reps. Thank you very much. I'm not even really checking the antagonism anymore. I know it's bad. Oh. Okay, I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was France at 50 bad. Yeah, that's rough. That's economically the sketchy time is over. We have pretty well recovered. Most of the debt is paid down. I still, of course, owe a lot in government bonds. But our economy's actually grown enough that if I was to pay them back, I think I would make money right now. It's funny that way. You can outgrow your government bonds, well, and use them like a modern economy would. The only issue I'm really having is control. I'm having a very difficult time pushing control, and that's what's sillier is I'm having a difficult time pushing control while I have these absolutely massive control hubs coming out of the Seljuk Mints. It's just I cannot manage to get a lot pushed out of Konya or Sivas, mostly because of the terrain, right? I haven't laid down many roads either. But, so I'm quite hampered. I couldn't even think of, like, integrating Bulgaria or anything and setting up another local governor up there. So we're getting to it. Okay, this is really cool. I didn't know this was a thing. I was just kind of clicking through the actions of the Rise of the Turks, and I saw the option to raise a Bay Fortress. And when I looked at what they did, right, they didn't look incredible. They give local crown power and some manpower, which is nice because they give it to you before you get barracks. But more than that, apparently when you build them, they give you a nice event pop-up, such as Ankara, City of Struggle, and max control plus 20% for 10 years, which isn't an insane amount. No, but it does mean that Ankara will now have like 40% control instead of 20%, which is a nice thing to have. Okay, one other reason why you never see me play Islamic countries is because of this. Because I wish I could just set all my kids to like receive an administrative education by default, instead of having to come over and click through my husband and all his concubines' children just to maybe have them as cabinet members like 20 years from now, if they come out any good. The occasional time I'll like be like, ooh, Diplo. But ooh, mill education. But yeah, like minor annoyance, first world problem. Oh, certainly, certainly. Still slightly annoying. Oh, also, I don't know what finally did it, but we got over 50 prestige, so I can finally form or become a kingdom, or in this case, the Sultanate of the Ottomans. More importantly, that gives me a local governor. And where will I put it? Well, for the time being, maybe I drop it in Salonik, and then eventually I'll move it either up to Tarnovo or Athena. Hey, okay, it took a moment, but our subject, Tavros, has been annexed. That is not what they looked like. Their borders were roughly that. You know what they look like. Congratulations to them. Yep, here we go again, back to my favorite part. Just like this. Over and over and over and over. Like, with all the automation in this game, would it kill them to just let you have a button that says, screw it, just put them all in administrative education? Or put them all in expensive education? Alrighty, I'm gonna destabilize the realm just a touch to rip away some power from the nobles. We're gonna start by yanking primacy of the nobility, as well as basically guarantee we're probably gonna have a revolt. What am I gonna seize? Feudal mercenary contracts as well. Now, this is going to make me a pariah to my nobles. Not much I can do about that. Well, I guess I could have not done it, or not done it all in one go, but that wouldn't be any fun. So we're going to immediately have somebody try and kiss and make them feel better. And we're going to put all of our money into trying to fix the stability that I also just burned through. It's going to take a minute, but that should be a massive blow to my noble's power, because I just yanked away 200% power things. And you can see we're already up to 26% crown control. So long as that doesn't erupt in a massive noble civil war, we should all be happy. The old sultan saw how things were going and decided to take the easy way out. Wow, and that guy just decided to grow a beard. Just like that. Just pop! Yeah, I figured. This poor vassal, man, this has got to be like the... Wait, none of that's integrated? What have you... how have you not integrated any of the land? You've had that for, like, almost 20 years. What do you mean none of it's integrated? Semenids, what are you doing, man? The integration of the conquered land is completed. There's still a couple Beyliks and vassal states that I have to integrate, but those take time. As such, I guess we get to move on to the more normal stuff, such as shifting the values over to where you want them to be. And, well, we do still have a large Greek Orthodox majority. Actually, they make up the large part of the culture of the nation and the faith of the nation, so we have to probably re-educate some folks. But in the meantime, let us worry about being innovative. Has Bosnia left the coalition? Yes, they have. Well, I suppose we can go take a crack at them. Alrighty, and now we go and press claims on Bosnia to go and burn Bosnia to the ground. Alright, Bosnia is beaten. Austria hasn't shown up, and we're just waiting to siege out the knights. Unfortunately, the peasants on that island are going to starve, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. And just like that, we have burned through the island of Rhodos. I didn't know that we'd actually get an event for that. The fall of the Knights Hospitaller. The island of Rhodos has been a major thorn in our side for far too long. The Knights have always organized raids against us, using the island as a base of operations. However, our recent campaign against them has exceeded, leading to the fall of Ireland, and the entire Hospitaller resistance. To which we get 10 prestige and 5 offensive. Sweet. Well, that's nice. From the knights, we will take, of course, everything and their money. Seriously, 2 ducats? That's all you'll give me? Whatever, sure. Give me your 2 ducats and get out of here, you little bastard. Lastly, from Bosnia, we will also take everything. I want to make sure that I have it all marked. I will leave Hum, which will become my vassal. Just like that. Glorious. And Hum, I will give all of Bosnia. Like, seriously though, is it that big of a deal to give me a button to just automate this? To just say, sure, all the kids go into the kid education grinder? Like, I know that I'm hammering home this point, but I really cannot stress how annoying this is to do. This is the reason why I play Catholic countries instead of Islamic countries, because there's so many less kids to educate. Alrighty, I think I'm gonna call this one here. I'm not saying I'm done with the Ottomans, but I don't have much more to do. This is definitely the core of EU5, and don't worry, we're gonna do a long-winded explanation as you come to the end. But first, I'm just gonna unpack how the nation looks, if that's what you're here to see. So everything has, of course, been cored and integrated, besides our fresh conquests of Serbia and Rhodes. Our control is doing decently. The Seljukimints act essentially as mini governors in the middle of Anatolia, and they're propping up my control here. Otherwise, I have a local governor in Smyrna and another one in Thessalonica. They're not going to stay there, but they're working for now. And of course, I have the foundation of a navy, not quite where it needs to be, but it's coming. Our values never quite got there. I just haven't had the time, or, well, I've been playing too loosely to monitor them really well. I'm way more decentralized than I should be. Innovativeness is coming. Spiritualist and humanist, I should be pushing one or the other. It's just flopping around in the middle. Serfdom isn't going hard enough, and all the others you can see. Traditional economy is getting fixed slowly. Communalism's nice and high, though. That's good. Let's see. I have not built up anything at all. So you can see we just have our simple towns. Although we're finally starting to make money on a level where I could probably start mass urbanizing. And our markets are fine. They're probably underperforming for where we are at this point in the game. But we're having a very fine Ottoman game. Oh, and culturally, still very Greek. Religiously, still very Orthodox, though we are working at amending that now, as you can see in Nicomedia and in Byzantion. As for conquest-wise, Anatolia is ours. The whole region bends the knee. Yep, the whole region bends the knee to us, I guess, besides Cyprus. I have not gotten down there to clean that up. And the important parts of the Balkans, the majority of the Balkans, I would say. Greece is my vassal, Bulgaria as well. I have a Bosnian vassal in Hum. I was prepping to do a war against Ragusa, and Hungary is one relatively annoying war, but a war I would win nonetheless. Sicily is a nice little cherry on top that just sits there and looks pretty. As for the Ottomans as a tier 1 nation, or a nation with a lot of flavor, there is a surprising amount of pop-ups. I didn't show them all because a lot of them, as nice as they are to read, don't do anything. They're just nice to look at. It will be temporary control here, quicker pop growth here, and they're all 10-year modifiers, which on the one hand is what you need as a new player. You don't need something that's radically going to change the nation that you're using. You need something that makes it easier to use the nation, which is where I also am going to talk about the Rise of the Turks. The Rise of the Turks lets you play like you're playing in EU4, and I'm not sure that's for the best. At some point, I turned my brain off, and I was just clicking press claim, click, war. That is how I ended up by pissing off that much of Europe, as I'm sure you saw. One of the biggest limiters in EU5 is the speed at which you can get Casus Belli, and whether or not that's a good thing, whole different conversation. But that is certainly one of the limiters. And the Ottomans, they're meant to expand fast, and that this is playing into like the fantasy, the history of it. It's fine, you know. It kind of lets you avoid the mechanic of the Parliament CBs and having to justify CBs, and sometimes decking CB wars. Let's see, the raising a Bay Fortress. This is one of the things where I mean, like, it's just making mechanics easier for you to grasp. My monthly manpower, all of it is coming from Bay Fortresses, right? All of these are Bay Fortresses. Maybe Constantine also has the Sergeantry. And you build a Bay Fortress, and I believe there's one in Smyrna. Yeah, you build a Bay Fortress, and it gives you local crown power, monthly manpower, fort defense, and it acts as a barracks. And when you build it, you also get a 10-year-long max control plus 20%. So it's fine. It's a nice buff. It just is doing a lot of things that are poorly explained. I didn't know that it was doing a control increase for that long. Inspect fortifications is another one of those things where I'm spending army tradition, apparently, to get plus 10 max control and plus 20% fort defense in an area. So I can just like click it down on Thrace, for example, and all of that's max control. That's fine. Offer diplomatic protection. Didn't touch it. Invade neighboring Bellic. Why would I get an insulted SCB when I can press claims? That's a useless button. Invite Turkic migration. Also never got to really use it. The problem is I accepted the Greeks. So I had no need to do that. The problem is you can't have a Turkish migration happen on a location that is a core. So all of my Greek stuff that I've technically cored can't happen. And last but least not, I can create an Ukbey, which, what does an Ukbey do? I don't know. Okay, it lets me take a vassal. So let me just change this guy. And it gives him a special government reform. It is the equivalent of making him a theme, from what I can see, and it gives him 2 footmen. That's fine. That's another button that does nothing, honestly. So yeah, Ottomans is a tier 1 nation. A lot of events. You know, a lot of dynamic historical events for doing things. Unfortunately, they don't really do anything. I didn't even trigger most of them. Wow. Yeah, apparently I really didn't trigger a lot of them. I triggered some. Easy to make money. It's always easy to make money in Anatolia, right? You're kind of sitting at the money printer. Good pop growth, easy enough nation, right? And whenever you get bored of fighting the Christians, you can go and fight into the steppe, or, you know, and you have the nice boss coming up of Egypt. This is why I'm kind of pausing here, because I'm realizing I got to gear up for an Egypt fight, and whether or not I want to do that, I haven't decided yet. Do I recommend the Ottomans? I mean, yeah, always. After playing 600 hours of EU5 and like being a bunch of tiny countries, it's weird to play as a big country because I got to the boring part so much faster. The boring part is when nobody can challenge you, where you can just kind of look at somebody and push against them and then they break. I could just take my 50,000 peasants and throw them at Hungary, and eventually Hungary will break because they can't outdo those numbers. Now, is that the most efficient way to do it? No, don't do that. But I could just sit around for 10 years, build up enough of a war chest to buy like a 20,000 professional stack, and they also can't do anything there. But that's a gameplay progression issue. So yeah, if you feel a certain way about tier 1 nations, or if you have a big country that you want me to play, as I intend to be kind of going through and looking at the tier 1 and tier 2 nations, which the list should be up on the screen again now, leave them in the comments below. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe. It means the world. We blew past 800 recently, and that is insane. Thank you all so much for that. I hope to see you all at the next video. This is Brown Dog 2, signing out.